Valeria, and this is my sister Benedetta. We are from Local Aromas in Italy. We run our family company, which is specialized in food experiences, food and wine experiences in Italy and cooking classes. And today we're excited to have Teresa Abbatinozzi.
Ciao, piacere.
Ciao, piacere. Teresa has her own YouTube channel, which is all about Italy. And she is also a student of the Local Aromas online cooking school. And the fun thing about this call today is that Teresa is going to be sharing a lot of questions. She's going to be asking us a lot of questions.
I know.
Yes.
Yes. And in the meantime,
I'm going to make semola and water dough.
Yeah, she's going to be making an easy pasta dough.
Super easy
as
dough.
we chat.
Awesome.
You do the hard work. I'll smile.
We are ready.
The first question I have is, what type of flour are you using here?
So here, for this specific pasta dough, I'm using semola flour. I'm just going to be using semola flour and water.
And semola flour is hard wheat flour. You'll see it's probably in the States, it's called semolina flour. It's coarse. It's yellow colored. And all the pastas that use this, because there's not one pasta like dough recipe. So the pastas that use this, you'll see that they have like, you see Benny earlier, she made orecchiette. And so they're like yellowish. They have this yellow, like, you know, the pasta, the one that comes in the packages at the supermarket? Yes. They are like yellowish because they're made with this flour.
Okay. And is that
another flour, which is white. It's plain white flour. You make different pastas with these two flours.
Okay. Now, is that a soft wheat or hard wheat?
This one is hard.
Hard wheat.
It's soft.
Okay. Perfect.
And the purpose is completely different.
Okay.
We don't have all-purpose flour in Italy. That's why when we made course flour, we gave it a huge chapter. There's a huge chapter, a huge section in our pasta course about flours, because, you know, talking to people from different countries, each country gives it different names. They have different blends. So the good thing about pasta making, it's not pastry.
And she would not. She's a pastry chef. So when she has asked me to weigh, you know, 52 grams of egg. It's like, so this is not.
No.
Now I would think it's good that you cover that on the flour in your course, because being from the United States, I would think that just all-purpose flour would be okay for pasta making. But when you are making pasta, does the type of flour determine the texture of the pasta being made?
Yes, it does. That's why semola flour, this golden color flour, is used for like pasta. It's a very the resulting dough from this kind of flour is very tough. So it's very hard. You can't. It's never used to make stuffed pasta. It's very tough. While this white one here, it is very weak. So you cannot, I mean, each pasta shape requires specific type of pasta. That's why, like, the recipes from like the pasta shapes from southern part of Italy use this, because that's where hard wheat flour grows. In the northern part, where like egg pasta, which is famous for egg pasta, you use this white flour, and egg is added to give it it becomes very elastic. You can't roll it out thin, so you would never be able to make ravioli with this dough.
Or tortellini with this dough. You can't.
Okay, so with that type of dough, what is an example of the type of pasta you can make? Would it be something like, I don't know, tagliatelle, or
No, this you would make orecchiette.
Okay.
Would make.
You have it. Benny already has one ready.
Yes, so I wanted to show you. I mean, this is, you know, water and semola. You still have to knead it for a little bit. You usually knead it for about 10 minutes so that all the gluten forms, and then you just leave it to rest. And it has to turn velvety. So this one, after you leave it to rest for an hour, you wrap it in plastic, very important, because the air dries it out immediately. And with this, I'm going to show you how to make two incredible shapes.
Okay.
That I love.
This is exciting. I'm excited. I love pasta. My husband and I have pasta at least 3 times a week.
Good.
So it is one of the things that we add into our diet. And so learning how to properly make it is really exciting for us, because that way we can have better dishes that include pasta.
And it's so healthy too.
It is.
It's so healthy. It's simple. It's easy, because you see how many things you can just do with 2 ingredients.
Absolutely.
And
what's the resting time for your dough? And say for example, if I decided that I didn't want to make the pasta the same day, is there a way to store it?
Yes. When you're making, so first of all, it's different if you're talking about stuffed pasta or just like plain pasta like this, like orecchiette.
Okay.
Because stuffed pasta, the only way to store stuffed pasta after you've made it is to freeze it. That's why in our pasta course, we went in depth, because drying out stuffed pasta is just dangerous for your health. You can like other plain pastas, you can actually you see we have this like little tool. You don't necessarily need this, but it's very helpful because they get air from on the top and on the bottom. So you can dry out pasta like the orecchiette, or Benny's going to be making, what are you making?
This I'm going to make orecchiette. So on the course, you can see the step-by-step video. This is my favorite kind of pasta to make. It is so gratifying. So you need a sharp knife, or better, even a knife with a dents.
Okay.
You put the knife.
A serrated knife.
Yes.
Okay.
You roll it across.
Do it here.
And then you flip. And then you have your orecchiette.
Okay.
These I made this morning, and you see how already they say in shape, how it gets hard.
Wow.
And so this, you just dry it out. And once you're completely dry, you can freeze them, or you can just store them in a airlocked container, and then they're ready. You have them anytime.
It is very important that when you dry out the pasta, it needs to be thoroughly, so you dry it out. It could take up to 2 days, depending, if you put it out in your garden, in the sun and in the breeze, rather than in your home. Because if you put it in an airtight container, then you could get mold, and that is dangerous. Because we're always talking about, for it being dangerous if it's not well stored. If you're making the nests, you wouldn't dry them out, because you will never ever get perfectly the inside dried out. You freeze it. So in the course that we put together, we have different. It's not just one dough. We have about 8 different pasta doughs. We have colored pasta, which is naturally colored with spinach or with chocolate, carrots, and it's wonderful. And for each, we go in depth into storing, because not everybody's going to be making pasta and eating it right away. So storing is a big thing, because you have to eat your pasta which has been safely stored. So that's why we went.
And that was sort of one of my questions, because I like to do sometimes meal prep a day ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to make the pasta up and then freeze it is, something I never knew about. And also, after you take it out of the freezer and you're going to prepare it the next day, would you thaw it or just put it into the hot water?
You always just Frozen pasta goes directly in the hot water because it's gonna get sticky.
Okay.
Inside,
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
Why don't you make?
I'll make fusilli. You see, this is a wonderful thing to do while you watch TV in the evening. You prepare a whole bunch of dough and then you just sit there.
It's meditation.
It's meditation. It's so relaxing.
And the wonderful thing about, making homemade pasta is really, I mean, one recipe, just with this one recipe that Benny made, you can make, if you have like this riga gnocchi, you go and you just do it like that. And on our course, since these are all very fun toys to have in the kitchen, this, everything that we use, we have shared the link so that if people want to purchase, they're exact same, and all our products are 100% made in Italy because we are a little obsessed with quality. We share all of our knowledge in the course with the links and everything. And also if people have questions, they can ask, and we immediately respond.
Comments are open
in the comments within the course.
So I had one question, Valadia, when you were talking about the gnocchi. Now I've only known about potato gnocchi, so I understand that there are many different types of gnocchi.
Oh, God.
So we are working on the next chapter of our school, and it's all about gnocchi.
Okay.
It's been nearly 2 months that we're working on putting it together, and there is a world out there of gnocchi.
I mean, Italians
a world.
Don't even know. And it's going to be out in June. It's going to be out now. I mean, in a few weeks, we're doing the final touches, but you have no idea what the world of gnocchi is, because gnocchi are actually the ancestor of pasta, but not potato gnocchi.
No.
Because potatoes got to Italy. Actually, they were accepted by the Italian culture only in the late 1800s. So it's relatively new. So this gnocchetti, just water and flour gnocchi, are the ancestors of pasta. Obviously, they weren't this like articulated. I mean, they were very simple. But there's bread gnocchi, there's potato gnocchi, ricotta gnocchi, vegetable.
Beetroot, cauliflower, just spinach. There's just so many. Pumpkin. Look at this.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that.
This is another of my favorite pot. This is like a fusillo.
Okay.
So this is with those long toothpicks that you use for kebabs or So you do the exact same dough. You roll it out a little bit thinner. You put the top, and then you just roll it until it's all around. This one didn't turn out properly.
And then you just leave it.
You just leave it to dry.
Okay. So now do you teach how to do that in the course? Is that?
Yes. We've got over 20 different pasta shapes.
25.
And
we just launched 4 more.
And every month we'll be adding, because you have to consider that there are over 300 pasta shapes. So there is a lot, because one thing that we always repeat and always say, even on our YouTube channel, there is no such thing as Italian food. Italian food is regional. It is local. And each region and even each town within the same region have their things. And many of which, we are from Rome. Many shapes, unless you've traveled in that region, we don't know. Like these in Sicily are called busiate. They're also called fusilli, and and so what we're trying to do, and it's gradually a lot of work,
very ambitious project here that we have,
is to gradually put together everything there is. That's why it's called a complete guide. Just everything you could ever think of about pasta. And I think even Italians don't know all that much that we are including, because it was a lot of work. And the thing that we like the most about it is that we're just using textbooks and cookbooks that are in Italian only. They have never been translated to any other language. So we are sharing our culture in a different language so that we're sharing it with everybody.
Okay, and I had one question, Benedetta, which is related to prep time. So what is the preparation time in terms of, you know, the demonstration you just showed me? How long does that take, or approximately how long would it take for me to make up enough pasta to make a meal with? Like, what's my prep time?
So depends on the type of pasta that you're making.
Okay.
Okay, because for example, if you have a pasta machine and you want to make fettuccine, that literally you just have to wait for the flour to rest, then you roll it out and it's done. And so that's really, really fast. If you want to make something like orecchiette, it's a little bit more elaborate because, however, I personally prefer them when they're a little bit drier, that when you cook them, that they're a little bit drier. These two, you want to wait until they're sort of dry. So it depends on the type of pasta. But easy stuff, you know, if you're making ravioli too, they seem complicated, but actually if you have the right tools, they're really easy. Because once you have the dough and you have the filling, it's super easy.
So when you say the right tools, is that something that you also provide in the course to show people what you're using and how to get it? Is that
we did a research because, you know, we have, I mean, this course is open to the world. And so every world, let's say Amazon is the website that sells everything all over the place. So we did a research where when you click, it takes you to the Amazon of your country. So if you're in Australia, it takes you to Australia. If you're in the UK, in the UK. And so after, like, this is 100% made in Italy. This too, the pasta machines that we use during the cooking course, everything that we use and recommend, yes, it's all there.
But also, you know, we also use and we also show ways. For instance, like the ravioli course, there's also a way, if you don't have the stamps, if you don't have the shapes, it doesn't matter. We'll show you how. If you don't have a rigagnocchi, it doesn't matter. You can use a fork. You know, there is like, because pasta, I mean, you don't necessarily need all the fancy utensils.
You don't. You need a glass and a fork.
Right, exactly. And we did that. So for people who do have them, this is how you use them. If people who want to learn, this is how you use them. If you don't have them, it's fine. You use rolling pin and, you know, or you use this.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
That is good to know. So basically, you could make some of the pasta types with what you have in your kitchen.
Absolutely. And that's what's so great about it.
Okay,
you know?
Cool.
The Italians that actually make homemade pasta every morning, usually what they do, they wake up in the morning, they prepare the dough, they leave the dough to rest, like the grandmothers, and then they make the beds and they do all the stuff around the house, and then they just pull the pasta and you have fresh pasta immediately.
Okay, excellent.
And that's the characteristics of the non-Italiane.
Yes, because it's food. I mean, just like we wrote it there. Food is love. I mean, and it's part of our culture. So it's so much more than just, you know, you're preparing something to have with your family, with your friends. It's just, I mean, it's so precious.
There is, when we're doing our research about orecchiette, down south, it's also a social moment because you have these old ladies that sit on their, you know, on the street, on their house, and they do this all day long. And then they sell them or they make them for the family. But it's a way for them to have an art in their hands and to share with family and social.
I actually saw that when we were in Rome. There were two old ladies. They were in a restaurant and they were actually making the pasta shapes, and they had the window open to the restaurant, which we thought was super cool to be able to see that. So that's pretty awesome. And then I guess in terms of course, before taking this course, you know, I've learned quite a bit just from talking to you today. But one of the things that I struggle with when I am cooking pasta is that sometimes it's sticky. What do you recommend, like some people say you're supposed to rinse it with cold water?
No,
Or-
ever, never, ever, ever do that. Unless you have supermarket pasta and you want to make a cold salad pasta. That's the only
but
time.
you never know. But I wouldn't recommend that either. No, you don't.
No.
Never rinse it.
As in cooking, yeah, you just, I mean, the pasta is ready. I mean, whatever pasta, fresh pasta or like the packaged pasta that you buy is ready to eat. Dried pasta, you don't need to add like oil in the water. Some people add oil. Oil is used just for the fresh pasta just to like prevent it from sticking as it's boiling.
Okay.
If not, no. And the final process that we also explain in the course is, the final process is just always to have the last 2 minutes to cook with the sauce.
Okay, so would you add sale, or AKA salt, in the water prior to putting in the pasta?
Yes.
Because I know that that's something we do here, and I don't know if that's proper to add a little bit of salt in the water before you
Yes, you have to add salt in the water.
When the water boils.
But when the water boils.
And in the course, we give a proportion because we've actually used it many times.
And it's perfect.
It's perfect. The amount of water and the amount of sauce, because what you want to do is the pasta has to cook in salty water so it absorbs it, especially if you're using like dried pasta or if you dried it out, it has to hydrate. So it absorbs the water, and it's good if the water is salty.
Okay, excellent.
And you never overcook the pasta. Always take it out a little bit ahead of time.
I noticed that in Italy, it's always perfect.
Al dente. It has to be.
Italian
would not eat overcooked pasta. You throw it away and then you do it again.
That's good to know.
That's true.
No, I have eaten overcooked and undercooked pasta before, just not to throw away the meal. So now I would like to be able to make it properly.
It's
so
important.
that's, yes,
it's
very
so gratifying. It's like, when I try it, when we do our cooking classes, and it's like making magic, because you have flour, you have 2 ingredients, 3 if you have an egg, and you just sit there and you create something so simple and so beautiful from nothing.
Okay.
It's just, and it's also, it's fun, it's gratifying, it's wonderful to put stuff on the table of the people that you love, and it's it's meditation. You do it.
Okay. I can tell right now that that's sort of meditative when you're rolling there.
It is.
It's
kind of cool.
I like this.
Because when you master the art of making orecchiette, I just love it. No, sometimes I prepare the dough and then I sit when I watch a movie with my daughter and I make orecchiette. I don't buy.
She puts them here, and this is stackable. So you can put like 3, 4, one on top of the other, and you just forget about it for a few days. And so
I put it on my balcony for a couple of days. I just sometimes just go like this, and I just go. And I toss and turn it. So and then when they're completely dry, they're ready.
So you don't cover it or anything. You just
no.
In the sun, it's perfect. And so then now, you have cherry tomatoes, wonderful olive oil, a bit of basil, and you have lunch.
That sounds amazing.
Be elaborate. Simplicity is the word, especially in Italian cuisine, and it's incredible.
It sounds amazing. That's very interesting. How easy it is to get the perfect type of pasta when you're learning about it. And before that, you think that it's, something that can be very complicated, but I think going through the course, you can follow the steps, right? Exactly. Into like how to make the pasta.
And the steps are so, should we say that we used our dad as the lowest common denominator? Our dad barely knows how to cook an egg. I mean, so we're like, would dad be able to make this by looking at the instructions?
He doesn't
know that yet.
I don't think he would be happy, but that was like, that's like the lowest common denominator. Would he understand it? I mean, is it so clear?
Okay.
Because, Dad lives with Mom, and she is all about, Mama Juliana is all about cooking. And so he never really had to learn.
He's very spoiled.
And so would he understand, or dad, or my like 13-year-old, would she be able to, and that's a good thing about the course, because you can watch it and it's just like not one long video, it's step by step, so you can.
Okay, good.
And pasta making is just trial and error, you know, you don't get it right the first time, who cares? You do it the second and you will eventually get it right.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because a step-by-step process is pretty good. That way you can do one step and then go to the next step, and then by the end, you've got pasta.
Exactly.
And then you can start to enjoy. Okay, perfected. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. This is great. So the shapes you're making right now are, how did you?
I'm making orecchiette.
Okay.
And fusilli.
And fusilli.
Okay.
Did you just ruin my fusillo?
Yes.
And
you just wait for them to dry and done, and they're ready.
Okay. So the way that you're doing it makes it look easy.
Because it is. Once you get the technique, it is easy. It is easy. And I've tried using various because then when you get a hand of it, then you want to perfect it. So which kind of knife is better? This blade or the other blade? Which surface is better? This surface is not. So and then you just have to experiment. You just experiment.
You know, you've got the guidelines. Then you know you will have to see what flour that they have in the store that you buy, which is best. So we've tested some flours, some brands you like more than others. So it's, but I mean, you're making pasta. You're not making a scientific pastry thing. So it's gonna turn, no matter what, it's gonna turn out good.
Okay.
It can get better, but it will at least the first times you will still be proud and you will still be eating what you prepared. And that's, and you know, the course is for starters. It's not for, it's for everybody, you know. If there's somebody who knows, but who wants to learn to make shapes they have never ever made or never even heard about, then good. If you have never ever made pasta, it's good. It's for everybody. It's for everybody.
I think this is brilliant because I have a heart for Italy. So I actually would love to learn to make it the Italian way, you know, to really learn to make authentic pasta. And that's, you know, something that I really desire to learn. And by your courses, I think I can do it step by step. So I'm excited to do this.
We want proof.
Oh, you want me to send a photo?
We want to see pictures of the dishes.
I will do it. I will do it. Now, I will say that I would probably make the pasta, but my husband would probably finish the dish.
And that's great.
So, you know, I can get into the pasta making, but he's better with actually putting everything together. Okay. So yes, I would be happy to send you a photo of my pasta making. I'm excited.
I can't wait to see it.
I'm excited to get into it.
Well, thank you so much, Teresa, for sharing this time together with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be a part of this, and I've learned a lot just by listening to the two of you talk here. So I'm so grateful.
Grazie, 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 grazie. Thank you so much.
Altrettanto. Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao Teresa, grazie.